So personally, the program dates back a couple of decades. My father, Theron Watson, and Jeannie Lubeck started a different organization, very similar though, called Healing Racism many years ago. That program was out in the South suburbs and had a profound impact in the South suburbs. My father did pass away a few years ago, and when Jeannie brought up the idea of having something similar in the city of Chicago called Heal Chicago, I was very interested in kind of carrying the legacy of my father.
Hi, I'm Kalindi Parikh.
My name is Ishan Pakrasi.
My name is Robert Ledoux.
I'm Brian Bremeyer.
Nicholas Ramos, I go by Nick.
Stephen Watson.
Claudia Enow.
My name is Elizabeth Shabazian.
My name is Nick Farrell.
I work as a product manager at Amazon Web Services.
I have a background in government, politics, and a little government for nonprofit work.
Just started a new job in Sydney with a major retailer here doing strategy work.
Been in the software space for about 13 years, working with different disciplines.
I'm the CEO of a cybersecurity company.
I am an ophthalmologist or eye surgeon.
I'm a product marketing manager at an insurance company.
I work as a moderator community manager, a mental health startup.
I was in the Heal Chicago Young Professionals cohort back in 2020, the first one. That was a really incredible experience. It was a really hard time in the world, both with the COVID pandemic and the social unrest as a result of the killing of George Floyd and just sort of being in a place in Chicago with lots of protests. It was really great to have a group in Heal Chicago, to have a community, to be able to process a lot of what was happening.
Originally sought out to join and work with the first cohort, thinking that I am a manager. Most of my duties are management. I work with a remote company. It'll be good to remind myself, build up some skills, remind myself the skills I've had before and practice them in creating an inclusive environment, and especially, over something like Zoom, and brush up on some communication skills. And I think Heal Chicago has definitely served that purpose.
It's allowed me to really gain an insight to other people's experiences while also sharing my own. It's been very cool bringing people together and seeing how similar a lot of our experiences are.
Probably the biggest integrated takeaway, I guess, or like the skill I would say, is the active listening. I still practice that. It was probably one of the most bizarre but helpful tools that I've ever experienced after it was explained how to use. Just the ability to sit there and truly just listen.
As I got exposure to people's opinions in this program, I realized how much of a blind spot I had, especially through a racial lens. One massive eye-opener for me was understanding the kinds of biases that you face as a brown person versus as, say, a black person. But through this program, I learned of someone's story who was a black man in Chicago who felt like when he was hanging out with his daughter humanized him more for people because they had such bad assumptions for him when he walked in a room. And, for me, that's a perspective I'd never heard before. Even though I thought I had diverse perspectives, that unique perspective was something I'd never heard. So that exposure was tremendous.
So professionally, I think Heal Chicago can have a big impact. It can open up the minds of people to sharing experiences and people's outlook on things. And I think Heal Chicago has the potential to have a great impact on the city of Chicago and possibly the nation, possibly.